Donkey Kong Bananza is only a few hours away and the reviews are out. So in this video, I'm going to recap all of them to see what we should be excited for and what we shouldn't. Let's get into it. If you guys are watching this when I upload it, I should be live, if not now, in a few hours. So go ahead and join me as I play through all of DK in one session. So let's get right into it. DK Bananza on Metacritic right now is 91. And I don't want to be that guy that says like, oh, 91, I think it would be higher. But for the launch, for the first official game to launch on the Switch 2, that wasn't a launch title, I think 91 is great. And honestly, especially for DK as well, this seems like a legitimately great revival for Donkey Kong. If we go into the reviews a little bit more, a lot of publications, specifically IGN, gave it a 10 out of 10 or 100 out of 100. Washington Post, Nintendo Insider. I am scrolling down this list and there was quite a few hundreds, and now we're getting into the low 90s. We are still missing some reviews from like Metacritic's official partners, The Verge, CNET, these two companies. So that number could change, but it is overall a really great game. And if we dive a little bit deeper into the reviews, Nintendo Life specifically says a wonderful variety and sense of adventure to every layer, hours of playtime both before and after the credits. And this is one thing that I have seen where a lot of the reviewers are saying that this is going to be about a 20-hour-long story with a 50-hour-long post-game. I do believe the reviewer from IGN said they played 50 hours of playtime and they still haven't 100%ed the game, which is exciting because I feel like a 20-hour-long solo story experience makes sense. Like I don't think I can have any complaints. It doesn't feel like it's too long. It's not like a JRPG. It doesn't feel like it's too short, like it's kind of stealing my money. This game is $70, and I think we all have to kind of calibrate to that level, but I don't think that changed any of the reviews that much. But yeah, overall, this definitely seems like it could be like Mario Odyssey levels. I think I put about 120 hours into Mario Odyssey. I did play through it, I think, twice. But definitely seems like an 80-hour experience to kind of 100% the game. When it comes to cons, performance hiccups is the one big thing that I've been seeing from a lot of them. This is from GameSpot as well. Performance issues. Even in the IGN review, they mentioned performance issues as well. But let's go into the performance real quick, because this definitely seems like it's actually quite a big issue, especially for the Switch 2, when we're not even supposed to be really getting performance issues, right? Isn't that what they kind of advertised? But assuming if we get better hardware, Nintendo is probably going to be pushing that hardware to its extreme. So I guess it makes sense. But a lot of reviewers are saying frame dips. Apparently there is a boss fight in the game. This is from the Digital Foundry review. Great review, by the way. Honestly, I hope Digital Foundry gets early access to all these games as well as everyone else, because he did such a good job explaining everything. But there is a boss fight that is locked to 30. And I guess close your eyes, close the screen. There isn't going to be any audio. But if you look, it's locked to 30, and you can see there is so much Z fighting with these mud blocks. And I'm pretty sure that is the cause of this frame rate issue. And yeah, and you can see just on the bottom of the screen, there's a bunch of dips, small dips. But I find it very surprising that one of the boss fights was, locked to 30 flat. And if you guys don't know what Z fighting is, it's basically when two 3D objects are fighting over the same spot, but they aren't layered. So like they're basically supposed to both be in front, so they keep like jumping back and forth. And I think that's definitely causing that frame rate. We don't know if this performance is going to be in the day one patch, because we are getting a day one patch for DK Bananza, but it is quite interesting. He did also leverage some complaints about the way the game was designed, which is understandable. I'm gonna have a whole video on this later, but this was supposed to be for the Switch 1, and you could tell because of the technology that they have been using. They've been using FSR 1, which I believe we're on like FSR 3, and then SMAA, which is like, from my understanding, it is a very older version, if that makes sense. There's definitely updated versions of this kind of technology. Of course, we are using DLSS, but it's not really doing that hard. And I saw this specifically on this screenshot. If you look right here, that shadow is rough. And like, again, I'm not really a big person. Like it's probably like 1 second in this clip, and I really wouldn't kind of care about it, but it is just worth noting because we do know Mario Kart World and DK Bananza were actually both supposed to be for the Switch 1. So we actually haven't seen a game developed specifically for the Switch 2. And I'm gonna actually have a whole video on this topic, so I'll leave it at that. But this kind of shows the technology they've been using, the main graphical qualities. But yeah, you think that with the Switch 2, it would at least perform a bit better. But again, I don't think it's that big of an issue. I'm not a big frame rate guy. As long as it's like a stable 30 and then it could jump up to 60, I'd be okay. Love 120, but am I gonna ask for it? Probably not. But let's go back into the good IGN masterpiece, 10 out of 10. When I saw this review, I came into it blind. I was legitimately surprised, but they said, I think, and I quote, the Switch 2's first masterpiece. And it makes sense. This is the Switch 2's first launch of a game, and yeah, it came out with a bang. But that is about it for the reviews. Are you planning on picking up Donkey Kong Bananza? If not, you should totally join me live. I will be live sometime today playing through all of it. Anyways, I'm Crafty Type 1. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.